Hello, Bill. Good evening and good afternoon, or good night. Another beautiful day or night. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? Alright, look. Microsoft losing to Sony is a wrong gamer's perception, says Pachter. They want to win business, not consoles. Says here, following the rumor and then the confirmation from Microsoft that several Xbox exclusive, that's Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Pentiment, and Hi-Fi Rush, in parentheses, would launch on rival consoles from Sony and Nintendo. Many gamers took that as an admission of defeat in the console war. However, Wedbush, our security analyst, Michael Pachter, shared a completely different view in his latest appearance on Pachter's Factor, believing that to be an incorrect perception of Microsoft's true gaming plans. He said the Windows and Xbox company tend to win the gaming business rather than the much smaller console business. They could do that by pursuing a much more aggressive pricing strategy on console hardware, which they would have the pocket to sustain, but that's not their plan. They will instead leverage the content they have at their disposal following the acquisition to get the Game Pass subscription service up to 250 million subscribers. Says here, I think the whole development and promotion of Game Pass was always an acknowledgement that the Xbox is a platform and not necessarily a device you need. I think that Microsoft will be perfectly happy in a future where there are no consoles and everybody has a dumb terminal attached to the internet, to the cloud, and they stream all their games. Then it says here, Game Pass, that their long game, and I think Microsoft recognized very early on in this cycle that the future is the cloud, and that if you don't have to sell a console, your addressable market goes from 250 to 300 million people. Who owns consoles to 3 or 4 billion people who play games? That's their end game. Much like Netflix said, how many people watch TV? And the answer is 4 or 5 billion. So Netflix has 260 million now. We're talking subscribers. Then he says, I think that they, Satya Nadella, being the architect and Phil Spencer being the field general, executing the strategy. I think they're trying to get 250 million Game Pass subscribers without a console. Is there anything Microsoft can do to regain ground this generation? Sure. Cancel Game Pass and cut the price of Xbox. If they did that, if Xbox is $200 and they told every Game Pass member, we give you an Xbox for 20 bucks because you've already paid for Game Pass, and by the way, if you buy Xbox, you'll get all of your first party release free. They would pass Sony like they were standing still. They would just lose money, but they would do it. If Microsoft wanted to win the generation, they would win the generation. Anyway, it says that is not what they're trying to do. They're trying to win the game business by offering games to 3 billion people, not to 300 million people. That's their end game. And to be honest with you, the way Game Pass is going to work is the price will drop from 15 bucks a month to 10, and then it will drop to 5 with ad support. Every time you load up a game, you're going to be required to watch an ad. Remember when people complained about ads being in video games? Anyway, people will tough that out, and Microsoft going to make tons of money. More people are going to play games, and they're going to pay less for the privilege. So I think they win. They just don't win the console generation. Now, they have they have all that other content. You're going to get Hellblade 2. You're going to get the Outer Worlds 2. You're going to get Elder Scrolls 6. One of these days, you're going to get the entire Call of Duty catalog. You're going to get World of Warcraft as a part of Game Pass. Yes, they will go to 200 million subscribers. So I think that they're absolutely executing brilliantly. I think gamers' perception that they lost to Sony is just wrong. They lost in the console battle. If that's how you measure your worth, that you've got to sell more consoles or you suck. If the question is who's going to be more profitable, Microsoft by 10x or 100x? Says here, that has indeed been the plan for quite a while, with Satya Nadella saying over 6 years ago they did like Game Pass to be the Netflix of gaming. However, the growth of the subscription business in gaming has largely stopped. Microsoft recently confirmed Game Pass still has only 34 million subscribers, and that includes the core tier, which was previously Xbox Live Gold. Then it says here, last paragraph says here, the next test will be the massively anticipated addition of Activision Blizzard games to the subscription service. It will begin on March 28th with Diablo 4. Between that one, Call of Duty, and possibly World of Warcraft, chances are the number of active subscribers could go up a lot. Still, 250 million seems like a pipe dream at the moment. In this Pachter episode, the analyst suggests that Microsoft should send a dongle and a controller to Game Pass subscribers as an enticement to play via cloud. The problem with that is cloud gaming growth is also relatively slow at the moment. Yeah, well, we play chess, not checkers. So Microsoft, they're trying to grow their, they're trying to win the business by growing, by growing Game Pass, trying to become the next Netflix of gaming, trying to get to 250 million subscribers. That is a lot. Remember I told you, it's a Game Pass world and we're just living in it. I told you the entire world runs on Windows. The entire video game industry runs through Microsoft. I told you Game Pass is like Pac-Man and it's eating everything up. So Microsoft trying to get to 250 million. Them buying Activision Blizzard was a part of that strategy. So if Call of Duty comes to Game Pass, then the Game Pass numbers will rise, because there's a lot of people out there that love Call of Duty, and they play all of them. I mean, from World at War to Modern Warfare 4, 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 4, what's that, Infinite Warfare, let's see, Call of Duty World War 2, they play Warzone, they play all them Call of Duty. So World of Warcraft and Call of Duty comes to Game Pass, that is possible, that number will jump, that's for sure. What this article is forgetting is that the World of Warcraft user base is pretty big, so yeah. People using putting Game Pass on, I mean, they have PC Game Pass, so they could achieve that number that way by adding those games, Elder Scrolls 6 it's gonna be some time before that game comes out, because it has to because Elder Scrolls 6 have to raise the bar. I think Hellblade comes out this year. Outer Worlds 2. Uh, let's see. I mean, of course, like buying Activision Blizzard, adding even a new StarCraft would raise the bar. So, this article talks about 250 million seems like a pipe dream. I don't think so. Not now that Microsoft has Activision Blizzard, they can achieve that number because they got some hitters with all those studios that's making games for them. They can achieve it. A new Gears of War would raise the bar. A new Elder Scrolls 6. A new what's that? A new StarCraft. All those studios that they got. A new game from what's that? Rare Studios. Oh yeah, it will do it, man. But you know, but it will take some time, you know, because each one of those games would have to raise the bar in gaming, you know, and go on from there. So yeah, when they buying ZeniMax Bethesda was one thing, but now buying Activision Blizzard, it is possible, you know, trying to get to 250 million users and be like Netflix. Oh, by the way, Game Pass is a threat to Netflix, by the way. So yeah, but yeah, it's possible though. It's possible. You know? This article talks about what he says. Going from offering games to 3 billion people, not to 300 million. I mean, of course, there's the mobile market that they can tackle. You know, put Game Pass on mobile, on the mobile market. They could achieve it that way. You know, now that they got Activision Blizzard, I mean put Candy Crush on Game Pass. That would do it. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that play Candy Crush and don't want to admit it. So yeah, Microsoft is trying to win the business. You know, they got this new the Game Developers Conference is coming up. They got a new you have DirectX, but now you got Direct SR to add with DirectX. AMD and Nvidia is helping them with that, so that Direct SR is going to work good with FSR and DLSS. Yeah, and XCSS. So yeah, Microsoft is trying to win the business. Well, they have to stay consistent. That's for sure. That's for sure. You know, they have to stay consistent in this business. You know, I mean. Everybody's using Windows, so people can use Game Pass through their PCs. I mean, desktop or laptop. So yeah, and of course there's a portable PC market. So yeah, it's possible. So those games that they got in the line in the pipeline, yeah, it will help. A new Halo would help too. Just saying. So yeah, now putting ads in video games. well, there was a big uproar about that about a year. I think it was a year ago or a couple of years ago. So maybe people have changed, or they're still like no advertisement. So yeah, game industry moves on, man. Yeah, 200, 250, 300 million people. But then trying to get 3 billion. Well, look, they have Game Pass on TVs now. I think Samsung, or was it LG? One of the two. You know, so yeah. And of course you got those portable PCs that these handheld makers are making. So that will help too. You know, that way they can play their Game Passes on the go. So yeah. 250 million. Microsoft would have to like come up with, you know, come up with games, you know, that they need to achieve that number. They would have to do that. So yeah, and then go on from there. They can't be canceling projects, that's for sure. You know, because a project cancel is like a user base missing. You know, so yeah. But other than that, man, Nadelli and Spencer. Nadelli is the architect. Phil Spencer is the general. Yeah. I mean, look, I like the transformation that the Xbox One went through. The way they were updating that console, you know, and they just kept pushing. So yeah, the future looks good for Microsoft. They just got to get those games made and keep pushing. You know, they'll get there, but it will take what's that word I'm looking for? Work. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, those Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Borg, Dark Side. Go.